Okay, I think we're back. Yay! Alright. Honestly, all we've really missed is just, like, Fury bullshit, so, you know. I guess while we're here, we'll save. So, blah blah blah, Furies, screeching, running at us, and Saito's gonna be a badass because that's what he do.
Saito drew his blade without a sound and he lunged forward to slay each of the Furies with ease.
Thank you, Saito, for being the voice of reason, and also a badass.
Saito grabbed a hold of my hand. With his left hand he held his sword, and as we fled desperately, he swung at the ravenous monsters. I could hear flesh being split, the curdle of blood as it dripped to the floor and its metallic stench thereafter. Saito found himself completely covered in blood, but even so it didn't stop him. I tightly gripped his hand to pull him back. With whatever strength we had left to muster, Saito and I ran in the direction of Edo.
He's just like hacking them apart while we run the fuck away. Can we keep him?
Saito looked over his shoulder, making sure there were no Furies in sight. After a moment, he nodded and we came to a stop after his confirmation. Okay. I found myself out of breath, and it was difficult to speak after running at full stretch for so long.
Nope, don't apologize for that, Saito. We are very okay with that. Let's, like, smash cut in our memory to the like, accidental hand touchy thing in the DLC. And how fucking cute that was.
Then Saito gently let go of my hand. His breaths were staggered and he wiped his sweat-covered forehead repeatedly. Saito, are you okay? This
is a better angle to see more of his outfit. Since you can see he's also got like the full black gloves and stuff. It's interesting to note, in this remake they did slightly retool the outfit designs from the original game. In the original game his coat was entirely black. It didn't have the gold rimming on it, it didn't have the like fancy lapels. He was head to toe black. I actually kind of liked it better. It sort of suited him more. But this is nice. And it goes with the theme of all the rest of them a little bit better. You can see some of that art if you like Google for the old stuff. Good Lord, Kika. Go forth, write Otome games. I will play them.
But by now the blood had almost completely left Saito's face, and he could have collapsed at any moment. In addition to the beating heat of the sun, he was drenched in blood from his standoff with the Furies. Standing, let alone sprinting all the way to Edo, must have been excruciating. I said something appropriate, but I checked the walkthrough first.
Dang it, stupid mouse.
Saito, I'll lend you my shoulders. Grab onto me. I could see the perplexion in Saito's eyes as I made my suggestion.
好意だけ受け取っておく。
Normally, I would have listened to Saito and been done with it, but... You don't look all right. You're pale. Actually, it looks like you're ready to faint. Stop thinking about my sake for 1 second. Lean on me, please. Saito, it seemed, was unkeen to oblige my request. Although he was panting in front of me, his hands on his knees, he was still attempting to act tough.
平気だと言っている。
Well, like I told you, you don't look fine. Please, just listen to me this one time.
何故俺の体調などを気にかける。
Ah, thank you, Julie. For sharing the OG black coat. Yeah, I prefer it, honestly. It feels more on brand for Saito, but like I said, I see why they did this update. I think they were aiming to kind of make them look a little more like uniforms. I mean, these games predate the Sherlock situation, so it's fine.
あんたの考えることは消せぬ。
Because that day during the Battle of Toba-Fushimi, if Saito hadn't been with me, then he wouldn't have had to fight Kazuma.
The Sherlock situation. I mean, I liked like the first 3 episodes. After that, I had no interest in watching the rest.
Even in Edo, it was my behavior that caused Saito to endure a highly dangerous situation. And today, because of the Furies that were made by my father, many of our own men were needlessly slaughtered.
I think I may have seen like the 4th or 5th. Like, I saw a couple episodes after that, but I honestly barely remember them because they weren't that great to me. So yeah. Much like Supernatural ended in my mind at the end of the 5th season, and I choose not to acknowledge the rest in the existence of my brain. Same with like anything past episode 3 of Sherlock. But that's just me.
Time and time again, Saito had risked his body to protect me from harm.
Yeah, exactly, Kika. There are only 5 seasons of Supernatural. That's it. Only 5.
It frustrated me to know that there was nothing I could say or do to assist him in this dire time. If I could have anticipated that this was going to happen, then I should have left everyone. No, Saito. A lot sooner. Sorrow had burrowed itself deep into my heart, and from this sorrow came tears of shame.
何故泣いている。
Hey, Lyra! Yeah, Danny, that's what I hear as well. Hilariously, my boss is a big Supernatural fan. She and I, like, our fandoms align spookily well. She's kept up with Supernatural, and she says the last couple seasons have actually been a lot closer to the good stuff. If I had time to watch a TV show, I might check it out, but I don't.
もしや先ほど行動さんに言われた言葉を思い出したか。
I like Saito's like, I don't understand how to human. Why are you crying? I don't know how tears work. That's right, Kika. There are priorities here.
先ほどの行動さんの様子はどう見ても尋常ではなかった。あんたを娘とも思わぬ物言いをしたのは落ち水によって理性をなくしたせいだろう。
Or it could mean he's just actually a psycho. You know, that's likely.
正気で亡くなったからとてあんたを育ててくれた日々が消えてなくなるわけではあるまい。
But it's really sweet that he's trying to comfort us.
It's not that. I'm not crying because of my father.
では何故だ。
I knew that I had to answer him. But try as I might, the tears were unstoppable, and my mouth quivered as I tried to speak.
急がぬと夜までに江戸にたどり着けぬぞ。さっさと泣きやめ。
I'm sorry.
それは何に対する謝罪だ。あんたに詫びられる覚えなどないが。
I tried wiping my eyes repeatedly with the sleeves of my kimono, but it was a futile effort. It's because it's all my fault that you've become a Fury. I mean, even today, look at what my father did to all those warriors. I'm just so sorry, Saito. I had a feeling that saying this would only cause Saito more strife and conflict, but even so, I knew it was important to express myself. I bowed over and over again in shame. Then, with an albeit awkward movement, Saito drew me in closer to him and my face was pressed against his warm, comfortable chest.
泣きやめと言っているのが聞こえぬのか。
How much are we all collectively dying, Anna, Julie?
His voice tickled my ear softly. There was no harshness or coldness in it. Rather, it was soothing, as if Saito sought to comfort a crying child.
あんたは先ほど行動さんや新型の羅刹の襲撃を受けたのは自分のせいだと言っていたが、あんたを体内に留め置くことに決めたのは我々だ。
Alright, we're gonna take a second to grab that one.
「戦の最中鬼との戦闘になることは副長も想定していたはず。あんたのせいではない。
As I listened intently to Saito's kind words, a different kind of tears altogether began to flow uncontrollably. How could Saito be so gentle, so kind despite having all of these injustices occur to him? He had experienced far more harrowing experiences than I ever had. Hadn't life beaten him down enough for him to begin looking for something else to blame? Like me? I felt the same thing when he returned to the Shinsengumi from the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Misinformed soldiers who knew nothing of his character talked behind his back. but he persevered unfazed. Saito possessed such strength, and yet he was so thoughtful and compassionate.
あいにく俺は泣いている女の慰め方など知らん。
Meanwhile, Saito's like, I don't actually know how. I don't know how to stop a woman from crying? Question mark? How do? So, sorry if I'm bad at giving hugs.
涙を流したとてしてやれることなど何一つない。
Saito, you dummy.
I'm sorry. I apologized once more, still keeping my face buried deep in his chest as the tears stuck to his clothing. I couldn't help myself.
だから詫びられる筋合いなどないと言っている。
Saito continued to sympathize with me, although it was in his typical flat, stoic manner. Even so, he remained beside me, embracing me tightly and giving me support in my time of need.
Ugh, that was so sweet. Like I said, everything about Saito's route just has this, like, introspective, melancholic tone to it. Except for when Kodo shows up and rants like a psychopath, but everything else, their interactions with each other are very sweet and sad.
After returning to Edo, the other captains updated us with the outcome of the battle. As we had expected, there was no way for the new recruits to battle the Furies, as they lacked any real combat experience, let alone Fury experience. The Koyo Regulatory Company was dealt a bad hand, forcing Kondo to retreat. The Satsuma Choshu had strengthened their Furies from what had already been a nearly unstoppable force for the Shinsengumi. For the captains of the Shinsengumi, these improved foes proved to be a great obstacle, making our fates even more tenuous in this fearful, desperate time.
And yeah, so far, Saito's route has been holding pretty true to what I remember. Ah, here we are. We're in March of 1868. Chapter 3.
After an arduous walk, Saito and I returned from Kofu. It was decided that we were to remain on standby at the Edo Hatamoto's mansion, which still served as our headquarters while we regathered our men. Nagakura and Harada had safely returned to Edo shortly after we did, but Kondo and Hijikata, on the other hand, took far longer to return to the headquarters. Both Nagakura and Harada had their fair share of criticisms of Kondo for a while, so it left a bitter taste in their mouths when neither leader had returned. During one brisk morning,
そんじゃあ世話になったな、二人とも。俺たちがいなくなっても泣くんじゃねえぞ。
Oh no, this is where they chose to leave. I mean, I'm glad they're alive, but they're leaving forever.
Are you two really leaving?
そろそろ潮時だろうと思ってな。みんなと別れるのが寂しくねって言えば嘘になるが。
Is there any way you could speak with Kondo and perhaps reach a compromise?
話し合いならもう何遍もしたさ。最後はもう殴り合い寸前の大喧嘩。
But Nagakura, we're gonna miss your pecs. I mean you.
もし刀を刺してたらどうなってたかわかんねえぜ。
おいおい、新八。局中ハットを忘れたのか？死闘は厳禁だろ。
お、やべ。てか、俺はもう新選組の幹部じゃねえんだから局中ハットも関係ねえって。
Surprisingly, Harada and Nagakura found time to be their usual joking selves. It was difficult to accept that this could be the last moment all of us would share together. May I ask why you guys are leaving the Shinsengumi?
理由はさ、いろいろあるんだけどな。
Nagakura impetuously scratched at his nose with his fingers.
別に薩長と戦うのが嫌なわけじゃねえんだ。先が見えねえ暮らしってのも司令官に居候してた頃と大して変わらねえ。ただなんつうか、このままここにいると俺が生きてきた人生が全部嘘になっちまう気がしたんだ。
A lie? For a moment, Nagakura was deep in thought. It seemed as though he had settled on an answer, but he was choosing his words very carefully.
俺は近藤さんや土方さんみたいに侍になりてえって思ってたわけじゃねえからさ。自分が選んだわけでもねえ殿様に命がけで尽くすってのはどうしても性に合わねえ。薩長の奴らに銃で撃たれるのは別に、切られることだって怖くねえ。ただ死ぬ間際にあの時ああしてりゃよかったって思うのだけは絶対に嫌なんだ。
Saito instantly perked up. Although his actual expression change was relatively unnoticeable, perhaps something that Nagakura had said struck a nerve with him. Do you feel the same way, Harada?
同じ考えってやめてくれよ。剣術修行のためだけに脱藩して安定した暮らしを捨てたバカと一緒くたにされちゃ俺がかわいそうだろ
う。うるせえぞその。てめえだって脱藩者じゃねえかよ。
Nagakura sniped back angrily, but Harada smirked as he whispered his response to me quietly.
And yeah, Dappan, I'm curious why they didn't, like, define that or why they chose to use that term. That's the first I've seen it here. Implication is that it's a lordless samurai of some kind, but,
なんつうかさ、今の近藤さんを近くで見てるのって正直きついんだよな。
It hurts?
分不相応なおもちゃもらってはしゃいでるガキみてえに見えるっつうか、空回りしてるってのかな。
basically they're leaving because they're tired of Kondo's bullshit.
司令官でバカやってた頃や、豹で不定老子を追いかけ回してた頃はそんな風に思わなかったんだけどな。
Each time either man expressed his candid reflection about Kondo or the way things used to be, it reminded me of just how ephemeral each of those moments were. and how impossible it was to reclaim them as they used to be.
Ah, interesting. That might be a very specific, oh, well, it's a very pointed phrase then in that case, because the thing about Nagakura is that he was born into a samurai family, and he, like, left to go join the guys at Shie Hall. So, like, out of the Shinsengumi, he was basically the one who didn't actually need to, like, work up to a samurai role. He was not a peasant. He joined them because he, you know, wanted to do, like, sword fighting and stuff.
ま、俺たちはこれからも薩長と戦い続けるのは変わらねえしさ。
そうそう。別にこれが最後の別れになるわけじゃねえんだ。そんな顔すんなよ。
Okay. On the outside, I agreed with what they said, but on the inside, I knew I couldn't quite believe it. The tables had turned. The shogunate had dissolved, and the Satsuma and Choshu domains were the only were recently considered traitors, now comprised the entire imperial army.
I don't know why I had such a hard time with that entire fucking paragraph.
What would later become of all this, however, was something none of us had ever anticipated.
Good night, Scrat, or good morning as the case may be. It's definitely still nighttime here.
じゃあ俺たちそろそろ行くからよ。
Please wait. Allow me to escort you out.
いいっていいって。そんなことされたら余計に別れが辛くなるじゃねえか。
大した手間ではない。送る。
Saito spoke quite firmly, and together we walked both of the men towards the front gate. As we exited the building, we found Soma and Nomura standing idly to share their salutations.
あ、長倉さん、原田さん。とうとう行ってしまうんですね。お二人がいなくなってしまうと寂しくなります。
Soma, do you mean dry as in boring or dry as in not as much drinking? Honestly, both are probably accurate. And yes, Sano, I believe, is like the tallest, then Soji. Then, like, I think Nagakura. But yeah, Sano very tall. And then these cuties over here are like not super tall.
何言ってんだよ。うるせえ先輩がいなくなってのびのびできるじゃねえか。
うるさかったのはお前だけだろうが、一緒にするんじゃねえ。相馬、野村、これからも近藤さんや土方さんのことをよろしく頼むぜ。
Yeah, they might be taller than Saito. He's kind of little.
はい、任せてください。
Well, please look after yourselves.
お、それじゃあな。
Harada took one step in an attempt to leave, but Nagakura, however, was frozen, and he turned around. He marched up to Saito silently.
サイト、お前ずっとここに残るつもりなのか。
Yeah, Heisuke is definitely the smallest. I think Saito is like only a little taller than him.
ああ。今の俺が武士として生きられる場所はここしかない。
Nagakura seemed dissatisfied with Saito's answer. He took a breath as if he were about to refute Saito's answer, but instead he let out a heavy sigh. With a crooked expression, Nagakura seemed to deliberate to himself, hoping to find something meaningful to say. Then, after a brief pause, he gazed solemnly at Saito.
史跡を持ってねえからって武士じゃねえってわけじゃねえだろ。
Oh, my heart. Nagakura, don't go away. You're such a good.
What do you mean?
新しい殿様を見つける機会だって考えりゃいいじゃねえか。
I really love these moments where they point out that, like, 90% of the time they use Nagakura for comedy and he's like the party boy. But then he has these little moments that are very pointed and very poignant, and you see that he's a really observant guy. And, well, smarter than Chizuru initially gave him credit for, that's for sure. It's really good. I like it a lot.
着物だって腰に刺す刀だって嫁さんだって自分の気に入ったのを選ぶもんだろ。
Yeah, exactly. Nagakura is very sincere. He's just also real sincere about his booze.
殿様だけそうしちゃいけねえって誰が決めたんだ。
おいおい新八、風来坊のお前と斎藤を一緒にすんなって。
なんだよ、俺は親切心でだな。
じゃあんまり長々話してても別れたくなくなっちまうし、俺たちはもう行くからよ。
All right then. Farewell. With that, Nagakura and Harada waved their goodbyes, leaving the compounds without a second look. Soma and Nomura were...
俺たちは仕事が残ってますから中に戻ります。
I accidentally hit enter. Let's see what I was supposed to say. Blah blah blah, they watched them depart. Cool. Had my hand on the enter key and it smacked it.
Oh, okay. I'll see you guys later. The two bowed and they sauntered back into the compounds. Saito? Do you think we should head back inside too? I meekly called out to Saito, but... he seemed fixed to the spot, immovable as stone. And he had no immediate answer for my question. Instead, he stared somberly in the direction where his old friends had just left, stuck in the ineffable realization that this could be a permanent departure. Perhaps it would have been best for me to leave him be. I decided to head back in, so that Saito could be alone.
戻るか。
His tone was far more melancholic than that to which I had become accustomed.
Aw. Boo-hoo. Saito's really sad.
Later that night, a surprise awaited us. Kondo and Hijikata, who had been conspicuously absent for some time, had finally returned to us.
よう、悪かったな。ずいぶん長く留守にしちまって。
Our dads have come home.
みんな元気そうだな。大使の数は減ってしまったようだが。
Yeah, no thanks to you, Kondo.
A significant amount of time had passed since Kondo had last visited our headquarters. And since his last visit, his mood was far more glum. Come to think of it, Nagakura mentioned that their last conversation resulted in a near altercation. If I had to guess, perhaps Kondo was still processing some of those sour feelings.
お二人ともご無事で何よりでした。
A meeting was called for all of the men, but the only ones present were Kondo, Hijikata, Saito, Sannan, and Heisuke. Perhaps it was my habit of becoming rather sentimental when given opportunity, but watching each of our men decrease one by one was a bleak reminder of what was at stake for us.
Saito, 詳しい話を聞かせてくれ。あの後、甲府で何があった？
Yeah, So, we know, for instance, Yamazaki died on the passage to Edo. So basically between the two games, he's gone, I think. In most routes, that's true. I think that's true in this one? I don't remember. Gen is gone. He died at Toba Fushimi. Harada and Nagakura just left. Sannan and Heisuke are Furies. The numbers are dwindling real bad. Yeah, in a majority of the routes, Yamazaki sustains an injury during the Battle of Toba Fushimi and ends up dying en route to Edo. Because that is, like, historically what happened. Of course, there are rumors around, you know, his death not actually being true, but who knows.
敵が羅刹体を使ってやがったってのは本当か？
はい。しかもただの羅刹ではなく、日の光の下でも戦える様子でした。
日の光の下で。
Alright, moment of appreciation for Sanan's really great outfit, even if he is an absolute tool. His color palette in particular makes me quite happy. Sanan may be a creep, but he's an impeccably dressed one. Seriously, though. God damn it, Anna. Cyrus. That fool.
それは一体どのようなものなのです？すでに羅刹となったものにも有効なのですか？
Saito glanced over at Hijikata, as if he were unsure if he could confirm the answer to Sannan's pressing questions.
三男さん、質問は後にしてくれ。報告はまだ終わってねえ。
Oh gosh. Perhaps we'll see Cyrus again someday. Who knows? That depends on what happens in the future of Promise Tree.
Sannan's brow furrowed sheepishly, and he fidgeted nervously with his glasses to deflect the attention.
で、サイト、連中は一体どこから落ち水を手に入れやがったんだ？
Oh, we know the answer to that question.
まさか幕府側に薩長と通じてる奴がいるのか？
それは
At first, Saito seemed to hesitate, taking a quick gulp before looking in my direction. I nodded curtly. Then, Saito continued with his report.
It's nice that he, like, looked at us and was like, can I tell him? He asked permission, which is very sweet. Implicitly, anyway.
その羅刹は薩摩藩と懇意にしているあの風間天霧、そして光道さんが作り出したもののようです。体力も素早さも我々新選組の羅刹隊を上回っているように見受けられました。
昼間動けるようになったってことは弱点が一つ消えちまったわけだよな。しかもこっちの羅刹隊より力が上ときてやがるか。まずいな。
I love the way they've translated most of Hijikata's speech. He's so delightfully casual. Ain't that some shit?
Hijikata tapped his fingertips irritably on the tatami. There was something that bothered me more than what Saito was describing, however. Within this room were 6 people, including myself. However, the only ones speaking were Saito and Hijikata. Kondo only mustered powerless sighs.
That is exactly Hijikata, Anna. Magnificent warrior, tactician, impeccably dressed fashionista. Talks like a chimney sweep. Or, you know, a farmer, peddler, peasant, as he actually is. He didn't learn the fancy talk.
And Sannan.
日中動ける羅刹を作り出したというのが本当だとすると。
Okay, another moment to appreciate the visual that is Sannan when we're not dealing with him being a creep. These outfits are very powerful. But he is using the creepy voice, so I have concerns.
光道さんは新選組を離れた後、落ち水の改良に成功したということか。
Sannan stared at the floor, muttering to himself. It was an incredible thought, to be sure, and Sannan was flabbergasted as he wrapped himself in Saito's words. Heisuke, who was seated right beside Sannan, was glaring at the man sitting next to him with a stern expression.
Ah, look at our other boy in his cute outfit, looking angry. Also valid. Like, at least we're here with several other people, so I feel reasonably sure Hijikata and Saito would stab him first. That was tense. Cool. Everything's fine at Shinsengumi HQ. Nothing to worry about here.
Between the departure of Nagakura and Harada, and Kondo's lack of pronounced direction, it meant that the burden of responsibility fell heavier than ever on the shoulders of the men in this room. One of our other stalwart leaders, Okita, was being treated for a terrible bout of tuberculosis, meaning that he was sadly unable to help us in these trying times. which left Saito with a larger role to help steer this increasingly bereft Shinsengumi into a positive direction.
Yeah, Soji is, not coming back, I think. He's gonna be busy dying.
However, he was struggling with his own afflictions, having been forced to consume the water of life.
Forced is a strong word. He definitely did that, like, of his own volition.
Just from looking at him, I knew that his bloodlust was only going to become more intense as time went on. Thanks for the follow, Brazen Leo. Even so, his work ethic was unbreakable, something that I had admired dearly about him. Considering what predicaments the Shinsengumi had to face, I could not bear to tell him that he deserved rest. All I could do in the meantime was patiently observe Saito's gradual, unpleasant decline.
そろそろ江戸にとどまるのも限界みてえだな。
限界というのは？
今江戸城にいるお偉いさん方は戦う気をまるっきりなくしちまってる。ここでくすぶって戦の機会を逃すより、戦う意志が残ってる連中と合流する方がまだ勝ち目がありそうだ。
Ah, sorry about that. I was muted by the Mikey thing. The button didn't unstick. Anyway, as I was saying, this is one of the few routes where we do stick pretty closely to the flow of history, and that is largely because the actual historical Saito did survive beyond the Boshin War. So the story kind of carries us through where he actually went during the whole scenario. And inserts, you know, Chizuru dad Kazuma weirdness throughout, but ultimately it has to, they try to stick to the locations that Saito was actually at during the time frames he was at said things, according to history. Which means we spend a lot of time very close with the Shinsengumi, and we get to kind of see everything unravel. It works better in Saito's story than it does in Hijikata's because our little, like, growing bond with Saito feels a little more natural. Hijikata's just... he's just not a romance option. It's just not... There was no chemistry. But in Hijikata's, we also definitely get to see an even closer look at the unraveling of the Shinsengumi. And it's kind of interesting to get into, like, what Hijikata is going through during all of this. So his route is valuable in that respect. It's just that the, like, romance piece of it is very much not interesting enough. So his route ends up a little on the boring side. Anyway, that's my diatribe.
ということは、合図に行くのですね。
Big dad energy. Yeah, exactly.
ああ、 伝習隊に幕府回転隊、幕府遊撃隊、会津藩に桑名藩。薩長のやり口が気に食わねえって奴らはいくらでもいる。そうだよな、近藤さん。
Hijikata called out to Kondo, who had been moping with his head held low off to the side, but no answer. In fact, it seemed as though Hijikata's spirited declaration was practically falling on deaf ears.
近藤さん、聞こえてるか？
Once more, Hijikata called out to Kondo, who finally looked up after festering in his wistful mood. His response, however, was...
なあ、そうだな。
Kondo's delivery was half-hearted at best. He wallowed in his forlorn expressions, aiming his dejected murmurs towards Hijikata, although they could have been for anyone, given how detached they felt.
All right, Julie. Sleep well. We're not going to be going for much longer. Probably like 30 minutes.
Toshi、会津には俺も行かなきゃならんのかな。
当たり前じゃねえか。新選組を引っ張っていく人間はあんた以外いねえだろ。
Well, honestly, you, Hijikata, but okay.
大丈夫だって。負け戦なんてそう続くもんじゃねえよ。
Hijikata did his best to comfort Kondo, who seemed to sink deeper and deeper into his depression. But it was a futile effort.
どういう段取りを踏むつもりなんだ。会津って結構遠いけど。
流山に松本先生の知り合いの家があってな。そこをひとまずの拠点にするつもりだ。で、ここにある武器や一般の大使、羅刹隊を少しずつそこに移動させていく。
なるほど。まあいきなり何もかも会津に運び込むのは無理だもんな。
Saito, who had been observing us wordlessly from the corner, suddenly spoke up.
副長、千駄ヶ谷にいる宗司は？
この間、近藤さんと一緒に見舞いに行ってみたんだが、とても刀を握れる状態じゃねえな。残念だが、江戸に置いていくしかねえ。
Oh, Soji.
そうですか。
After Hijikata revealed the bad news, Saito politely answered with his usual stoic tone, but even so. It was plain to see that Saito was disappointed.
Well, yeah. His bestie / murder husband is sick in bed forever, so of course he's sad.
Both he and Ogita had worked alongside each other, as friends no less, since the Shie Hall days. I was confident that Saito would have felt far more comfortable fighting alongside his old comrade. Just then,
新選組の剣としてあれだけの働きをしてくれた沖田君でさえ足手まといとなれば切り捨てられてしまうということですか。我々もいつ見捨てられるか分かったものではないですね。
Sanan, why must you be such a fucking ray of sunshine?
Sunan's demeanor was plaintive as ever, but his icy joke was enough to stop everyone in the room.
悪い冗談は大概にしてくれ。俺がいつあんた方を見捨てるなんて言ったんだ。
Thank you, Hijikata.
言っているも同然では。行動さんが持っている落ち水があれば羅刹隊をさらに強化できるかもしれないというのに。
あんたともあろう人が何言ってやがる。今の行動さんが俺たちなんぞと交渉したがるはずねえだろうが。
話の運び方次第では。
Yeah, you know what, Sunan? Why don't you go work on that? For a really long time.
三男さん、あんた。
A fiery contempt burned in Hijikata's eyes as he shot Sunnan a stern look in response to his implicit question. But Sunnan maintained his cold composure, seemingly unfazed by Hijikata's hateful ire.
ただの冗談ですよ。こんなざれ言に目くじらを立てるとは、君も随分余裕をなくしているようですね。
冗談なら時と場所を選んでほしいもんだがな。
Things were left unsettled as the meeting was disbanded. But was Sannan truly joking? Was his question just an attempt to mess with Hijikata? Or was this a possibility he had silently entertained? These thoughts were sifted back and forth in my head well into the night's end. As soon as Hijikata gave the official order to depart for Aizu, the headquarters became abuzz with activity. However, being short-handed as far as leadership figures were concerned meant that we were stretched quite thin with delegating important tasks. One captain in particular felt the brunt of it all. Saito, is everything okay? There's practically no color in your face.
大事ない。
As usual, we're like, you're not okay. He's like, I'm fine. We're like, no, you're not.
Why don't you take a moment to rest? I know that you were working pretty late into the night yesterday evening.
会津行きの支度を早急に済ませなければならない。休んでいる暇などあるはずがない。
Listen, Saito, I feel you on a spiritual level here, buddy, but rest is good.
Saito's face was a pale, sunken mess. So gaunt I was certain he was about to pass out from exhaustion. But don't you think that you collapsing would defeat the purpose of all the effort you're putting in? I think at the very least you could find time to rest during the daytime if you insist on staying up late.
確かに昼起きているのは疲れるが、それでも人間だった頃よりマシな働きはできているはずだ。
That's not how being a Fury works, Saito. Cool thought, though.
That's not the point. Saito hadn't changed. He was so unbelievably stubborn when it came to practicing self-care. The fact of the matter is, whether or not he was able to work beyond human capabilities was irrelevant. What was relevant was that Saito was made to suffer this painful affliction, and he simply endured it. I was beginning to ask myself if Saito had fallen under the delusion that his body was as replaceable as his sword or his armor. I pursed my lips in thought as I stared at him.
それに、俺が働くのをやめてしまえば、新選組は。
Huh?
なんでもない。
Saito cut himself short, falling conspicuously silent. Just then,
Oh boy, here we go.
he let out a distressed groan. Then Saito began to sway where he stood.
Oh, he's just like super fucking tired. Surprise. Maybe take a nap, dude.
Saito, are you okay? hastily rushed to his side, supporting what was becoming dead weight as I frantically called to him. Saito's full, supple lips were becoming pale, and his breathing became ragged as he gasped for air. Are you okay? Just hold on!
すまない。ぶしつけな真似をしてしまったな。
He offered his frail hand, hoping to use my body as leverage to lift himself back to his feet. But he became powerless, and neither his legs nor his arms had any strength in them enough to move. Don't strain yourself. Why don't you give yourself a moment to lie down? I'll prepare your bedding in the next room. Saito shook his head.
平気だ。このままじっとしていれば治る。
As always, Saito was adamant about declining. All I'd wanted was for him to rest, but alas, there was no convincing him. His affliction, however, did not wait for him to decide.
Well, we're doing this again, I guess.
After a brilliant flash, Saito's hair turned white. My inclination turned out to be true. Saito was transforming into a Fury.
Yeah, apparently it does. It's like, here, let me help you with this whole relationship thing, you two dumbasses.
From what I remember, his fatigue and stress would slowly melt away were he able to drink blood.
Yeah, we know what we gotta do. Are we in chapter 3 or 4? Chapter 3? Yeah, chapter 3. So we have like one or two more blood donation situations.
It was a bit of a gamble, to be sure, to try this option in hopes of improving his physical condition, but this was all I could do for him. Saito, please drink my blood. As my command fell onto his ears, Saito's shoulders twitched. The Shinsengumi's not in the best shape right now, right? That means we need you now more than ever.
That's a kind of dirty pool, Chizuru.
Saito pressed himself against me as his breathing became a labored wheeze.
And the fucking earlobe thing again is just dumb, but anyway.
Without a second thought, I unsheathed my kodachi and I sliced a tiny cut into my earlobe. Small, hot droplets of blood came oozing out. Everything will be okay. When you drink blood, I'm sure you'll feel better in no time. I calmly wrapped my arms around Saito's body and I nuzzled my bleeding earlobe against his soft lips.
Oh hey, we get a different CG this time. Because why not, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. The usual stuff.
His tongue was gentle but eager, and I felt a chill run down my neck as his mouth wrapped around my cut.
I still have questions about an earlobe bleeding very much, but okay. This is also the same game where there's a lot of scalpels being thrown as deadly weapons, so whatever the fuck.
His ragged breath tickled my ears. Without saying a word, Saito sipped the blood.
Maybe Oni blood just runs thinner, I don't know.
The frequency of his warm, staggered breathing began to slow itself. This alone made me feel relief. Just being able to ease Saito's suffering, even if it were just a little.
Fury bullshit. Yeah, exactly.
As I sighed in relief, I had sensed that something was amiss. The cut I had just made had already healed.
Saito? Buddy?
And yet, Saito's lips and tongue were still suckling gently at my ear. Saito? I think the cut's already closed up. After I timidly expressed my observations, Saito's fingertips, which had only moments earlier stroked my hair, twitched awkwardly. Oh, was that not enough blood? Do you want me to make another cut? Once again, I asked him. Saito hurriedly got to his feet with such aplomb, and it felt as though he were pushing me away. What's the matter?
すまない。
Well, good job, Saito. You made it awkward. More awkward. This poor boy.
Saito stood impetuously, and for some reason he looked shaken. What would you like me to do? Should I cut my ear again?
いや、別に飲み足りなかったわけではない。
Busted.
Really? Just tell me. If it wasn't enough for you, you don't have to hesitate to ask, okay?
ああ。
What had gotten into him?
Oh no, he had feelings. What do?
Just then his mood had shifted completely. However, color had filled out his complexion again, so maybe I don't have to worry?
Are you really that dumb, Chizuru? Are you, though? Anyway. Oh, are we gonna wax poetic about the sky? We should save. I feel like it's been a while. Boop.
April 1st. Our group had been transferred to a sake brewery situated in the Nagaoka mansion in Nagareyama. Saito was occupied with the bustling scene, ordering warriors around and helping with the unpacking. Saito, how are you feeling?
平気だ。同じ過ちは二度は繰り返さん。
Of course you won't. We know.
Are you sure?
どういう意味だそれは。俺が嘘を言っているとでも言うのか。
Saito, I don't know how to tell you this, but you aren't the best at taking care of your body.
Right? If only Nagakura were here. The brewery would have been great.
So I'm a little worried that you may push yourself too hard again, and that you could faint again.
シンパチや佐野が抜け、宗司も肺の病で起き上がれぬ身。局長や副長のご負担は以前よりも増しているはずだ。
Then why don't you ask Soma or Nomura?
俺にしかできん役目がいくつもある。休むわけにはいくまい。
I feel that on a spiritual level.
I understand where you're coming from, Saito, but you must find time to rest or you won't be able to work as hard as you want to.
Right, Anna? Ouch. Anyway.
And if that were to happen, then it would be an even heavier burden on Kondo and Hijikata. Perhaps I was being a tad too forward with my argument, but if I hadn't been as forceful or forward, I doubt that Saito would have paid my words any heed.
あんたは見た目に似合わず強情なのだな。
That's right, because we care. But look, we made him smile.
何故俺などの世話を焼きたがる。
Well. Funny you should ask.
Well, how should I respond?
The walkthrough lost my place. Hold on. Saito is kind of a dum-dum.
I don't have a reason. I'm just really worried about you, Saito. After all, my father was a doctor.
いらぬ世話だ。俺よりももっと気にかけるべき相手はいるだろう。
These two fucking oblivious kids. Somehow they will love each other. Yeah, Saito is definitely clueless. In the best way. I may be on the same level as this guy when it comes to interpreting signals of flirting, though, to be quite honest. I definitely don't pick up on them. Like, ever.
Well, it's you I'm worried about, more than anyone else at the moment. And it's because you keep pushing yourself and making all of us worry about you. Ever since you became a Fury, you've been working day and night. Anyone can see that it's been wearing you down, but you keep insisting you're fine. I think you're only worrying everyone around you more than you think. Saito took in my words carefully, and he cast his gaze toward the ground.
確かにあんたの言う通りかもしれんな。いらぬ世話とは口が過ぎたかもしれん。すまなかった。
Aw.
ひとまずあんたの言う通り、今日の夜は休養を取ることにする。
Attaboy.
Wait a minute. You aren't going to rest now?
この書類を書かねばならん。やりかけの仕事を残して休むのはどうにも落ち着かぬ。
Hearing that he was refusing yet again to rest almost made me lose all the power in my body. I thought I could faint at any moment. Don't Furies normally feel better when they rest during the day and act during the nighttime? So wouldn't you think it's better if you rest now and then continue to work when the sun's down?
休めというあんたの言葉には従うのだから十分だろう。
I like that resting is in quotation marks. He's like, yes, I have heard of this rest of which you speak, and I will attempt it.
At this rate, it seemed there would be no convincing him to sleep until the evening. Rather, I had a suspicion that he would sneak around and work until the sun rose once more. So I marched up to his desk and I gathered all of the parchment and documents that he had been working on. Fine then, have it your way. I'm going to ask Kondo to write all of these documents.
何？
Good job, Chizuru.
バカなことを言うな。局長の手を煩わせるほどの仕事ではない。
It's not like that at all. Kondo has also expressed concern about your well-being. If I tell him that it's time for Saito to take a break, then I'm sure he will understand and carry on whatever needs to be done.
そういうことを言っているのではない。局長にそんな雑務をさせるわけにはいかぬと言っているのだ。
Wanna bet?
おとなしくその書類を返せ、雪村。
No.
No. You promised me that you'd rest today. A warrior does not go back on his promises, right?
I like this Chizuru most of the time.
At last, Saito had no witty refutation to offer. He sighed heavily and his shoulders dropped in defeat.
あんたは花から俺の言うことなど聞くつもりはないのだな。
She accidentally stumbled on some agency. I've found Chizuru seems to be at her best in the routes where she has to, like, basically be the mom friend to her boy until they figure out romance. Hence why Heisuke, Soji, and Saito pretty much have the nicest routes. Incidentally, they're also the three who are closest to her in age.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to make your bed immediately. I darted out of the room, preparing Saito's bed before he had a chance to change his mind.
Chizuru, don't make it creepy.
Until you rest. I'm afraid that the moment I leave your room, you're going to get right back up and continue working.
この通り寝る支度をした。
Good lord.
途中まで手をつけていた仕事も局長にお任せすることにした。
Honestly, though, she's probably not wrong, so can't really blame her here.
ここまでさせておいて、あんたはまだ俺のことを信用できぬというのか。
I'm sorry. It's just that I'm that worried about you.
まったく。
A look of confusion was stretched across Saito's face, causing him to slump disappointedly, but I could see a smirk begin to form in the curl of his pink lips. Saito plopped atop the futon, and he lifted the duvet over his body, letting his legs bury under them. Oh. As I watched him ready himself for sleep, something familiar came to mind.
どうした?
Oh, nothing. I was just reminded of something.
あることというのは?
It was a dream I had. A few years ago, I came down with a terrible cold and was bedridden. But in my dream, you held my hand.
Oh my. Look at that face.
Is something wrong, Saito? Your face is flushed red.
いや、まさかあんたがあの時のことを覚えているとは。
Wait, what? Don't tell me. Saito's eyes were hastily averted from my own.
決して体があったわけではない。あんたが風邪で寝込んでいると副長からお聞きしたから様子を見に行っただけだ。
Yes, I know that. I just wanted to say, I'm glad it wasn't a dream.
よかったというのは
Oh, these awkward children.
You have no idea how much it meant when you held my hand that night, Saito.
そうか
Saito's body shrunk as I spoke, perhaps as a show of discomfort. Saito.
なんだ
This is revolting. So gross. And I can't see the screen because Percy's in the way.
May I hold your hand?
手をだと何故俺はわらべではないぞ
Hey! I'm not trying to treat you like a child. But when your hand embraced mine all those nights ago, I felt so at peace. So I was hoping I could return the favor and make you feel some sense of calm as well. Is that not okay with you?
雪村
A calculated look was aimed towards me by Saito, as if he were hoping to read my motives. He moved his gaze awkwardly away from me, but his hand was outstretched in my direction. I smiled, grasping his hand gently, just as he did mine on that distant, wintry night. Having the two of us here together really brings back the memories, doesn't it? Well, maybe not exactly, as I suppose you and I have swapped places.
そうだな
He clasped onto my hand in return, but I noticed he seemed distracted. Like something was pulling his heart somewhere miles away from here.
あの時は新八も佐野もいた掃除も肺を病んではいたが起き上がれぬほどではなかった源さんも山崎も元気だった平助も俺も羅刹にはなっていなかった
Okay, yep, we just got confirmation that Yamazaki's dead.
Yes. Memories of Kyoto came flooding back to me, leaving a bittersweet taste in my mouth as I recounted them. Back then, there were still plenty of challenges that everyone faced, but even so, we faced them together, and we thrived. But now...
あんただけは変わらんな
What?
あの時も今も変わらず俺の後ろをついてきて何かあるとすぐに俺の名を呼ぶそれだけは昔も今も変わらん
Man. I'm convinced these different routes have different writers.
Come to think of it, you're right. Thinking about how long we had known each other, all the moments gathering in the glass of our friendship made me smile.
だがそれもいつまでなのかはわからんなあんたは最後まで我々に付き合う義理などあるまい
No. I will always remain by everyone's side. Besides, I have nowhere else to call home. I realized that with Father becoming an agent of the demons, there really is nowhere else I can go. My heart sank heavily in my chest, thinking about how what I'd regarded as family for so long was now just a ghost of a thought. So, here was where I'd belonged. Saito scanned me with inquisitive eyes, perhaps on the cusp of saying something in response. Then, after a long pause, he opened his mouth.
他に行き場所がないか。俺に似ているな。
His words weren't necessarily directed at me, but rather he was murmuring under his breath.
Well, that was sweet, and seems like a really good point to end on for the night. I'm a little surprised and disappointed that that didn't get a CG, though. Hey, Redundant UK! We're actually just about to wrap up, because it's heckin' late where I am. It's fine. It is almost 3 a.m. here, where I live. So, you know, I should probably go to bed because I have work. Time zones are a whole thing. Let's back up and do our recap. Cursed time zones, how dare you. Let's check out all the CGs we got. I know, actual rest, yes. That's a whole thing. I think this CG probably will come if we make him endure it, because you get a different one for that. But let's look at what we got here. So there's this one where we philosophized in the moonlight. And he basically touched our face and stuff, and that was very sweet. Blood drinking numero uno? Or whatever. Oh, which, actually, it's just the same one, but different lighting. So, you know, cool. Then this sweet, sad moment where we were crying a whole heck of a lot and he awkwardly hugged us. And then, you know, he fucking collapsed. Because he works too much. But look, we still have like a whole bunch of CGs we need to get. There's so much more! So many more! No, he collapsed because he just like doesn't stop working. He doesn't do things like rest, ever. The fool. But, we have done well this night. We made a lot of progress. Nicholas, how dare you call me out in such a way? I think there's a reason when I made my own, like, choices in the game on my first blind playthrough ever, I ended up with Saito. So, you know. Like knows like. But anyway, we will continue this next weekend. I will have a new computer, so hopefully we'll stop having that weirdness where Explorer just straight up dies in the middle of my streams and decides that it wants to kill them. So, we shall see. Anyway, friends, take care. Good night.